Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon or Rising, and as ever, once they're uploaded, I would say go and watch your moon sign, go and watch your rising sign. This is a general reading for what the next solstice year is likely to contain for you. Now I've done Aries, I had a few technical difficulties. But I wanted something to upload for the day of the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction. And obviously the Jupiter Saturn Conjunction is probably the defining energy for your next year from solstice to solstice. Although there is like a huge Saturn square Uranus in your sign, in fact. So I think you can expect a rebellious year as well. Now, as a general reading rules apply. My brain suddenly went blank there for a second, but yeah, roles can be reversed if there's someone else appears in the reading, doesn't look like there is doing. As ever, my reading is basically you focused. It's not so much of a spread where you can ask a question beforehand, but you can give it a go if you want to. So take a moment, think about questions that you have about this next coming year, and then focus on one of them, but just be aware of all of them. Cards will answer what they want. Timing is far from absolute, and this is a general reading for a year's duration, you know, so timing is not really going to be an issue in this particular reading. There are links down below for your lunar eclipse reading, your solar eclipse reading, and the recent Sun Conjunct Galactic Center, Galactic Download reading as I call it. Those are important because those are all leading in to and feeding into, I should say, the energies of that Jupiter Saturn conjunction. So go and have a look at those if I haven't finished up recording and uploading the solstice year ones for your rising and for your moon sign, and always try and watch your rising sign. In ancient astrology, that was the most important sign. So assuming that you know your time of birth, you can find out your rising sign. There's a link down below for a birth chart from AstroSeek or from Cafe Astrology. I prefer AstroSeek, but Cafe Astrology gives you a PDF that you can take away with you. So I'm sure there's something else I need to say. Yes, there's going to be a link in the description for the Facebook group for this page. Now that is, or even Facebook page for this channel even. That also contains an inbox, as well as obviously I post these videos. I post the astrology, weather forecast type videos that I watch. But if you're wanting to contact me for a personal reading, that's the best way to do it. Now, assuming my mobile phone holds out, because I warn you, the picture's been a bit dicey in my earlier reading today, so I'm surprised how it survived this long. This is your spread for the coming year, and it's looking hopeful, but there is a theme. There is a most definite theme. We have, starting with the Four of Cups, and the Four of Cups on the bottom of the clarification deck. Also with silencing the mind from the Sufi wisdom oracle. Let silence guide you to your inner peace. So there is, and there we go. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't want to behave at all, does it? Let me just change camera. No, it seems to have righted itself, fortunately. So yeah, there is that sense of guidance that you are being pushed towards whatever your destiny for the year is. But you are really being encouraged to grow. And the reason that I say that is right in the center, we have the Judgment card, transformation. Utter transformation. Once you decide to grab hold of it, a total transformation. Clarified here by the Empress. Now you've got a lot of major arcana here. We have listening to your guidance leads you to basically a rebirth of your dreams and a form of wish fulfillment. Now this is crowning the Hierophant, clarified by the Magician, major arcana, like I was saying. So as long as you are wanting to stick within, so again, the Saturn influence, you're sticking within certain guidelines. You're sticking within certain moral guidelines, to be quite honest, when we're talking about the Hierophant. Sort of not necessarily, I don't want to talk about tradition with this, which is also associated with the Hierophant. I'm wanting to talk about making sure that you are doing whatever you can to remain within your own spiritual moral guidelines, because we all stray out of them. We all get home at the end of a day ever so often, once in a blue moon, and go, oops, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I wasn't being quite true to what I say I believe. And the reason I also say that, we have the negative angel Malachi Dael, which talks of a lack of scruples. Now, let me grab the little book, because I'm still learning this tarot, but it talks of a lack of scruples regarding pursuing matters, well, I don't want to say in love. What it actually says is this represents a lack of scruples when it comes to win love, okay, or favours with the opposite sex, using any means to achieve this end, even black arts. So there is some form of temptation being put in your way. Of course, this could be someone having that lack of scruples towards you, in which case be on your guard. But there is pretty obviously a chance to either a test, like Saturn loves tests. There is a test to either, are you going to adhere to the morals you say you have, or are you not? And you will have that encouragement, because we also have, from the Greek mythology reading cards, we have Eris, the goddess of strife. But also, Eris is the one who creates growth by creating that discomfort, certainly astrologically as well, creating a discomfort, creating a strife that you have to do something about to solve it. You have to do something to resolve it, to grow past it, to grow. Because Eris, if you think about the story of her throwing that golden apple in, she was really going, oh yeah, gods and goddesses, are you? Okay, let's just see who's operating in the highest morals for the most beautiful. And then seeing quite dignified, noble goddesses basically having a fight over whose apple that belongs to, you know. So there's definitely a test coming up for you this year, Taurus. And a test that if you pass, you really pass. You pass with flying colours. Because just this whole go into the middle here. As I say, for all the major arcana, we've got the Hierophant clarified by the Magician here, and Judgment clarified by the Empress. We have the Chariot being twice, and here being clarified by the Empress. So, this Two of Wands represents a choice, a fork in the road. So again, bringing me to this, you are going to be tested. There is going to be one major decision this year for you, quite possibly in relation to, I'm going to say in relation to love. Come on. Yeah, there's the phone's playing up today. In relation to love. But that doesn't necessarily mean love of a singular individual. It could be love of a cause. It could be, more importantly, love of oneself. Because if you fail that test, it's really easy to not love yourself afterwards. So you are being put in a position where you can do something that will cause you to not love yourself afterwards. And you have to pass that test by doing something that doesn't damage that sense of self-love, that does enable you to look back on it and go, you know, I'm really pleased I made that decision, because I could have been a right, insert expletive there, you know. And if you are passing that test, going along the path of the Hierophant, you are showing the skill that you have spent years learning, basically by being a human being incarnate on the planet. But you are demonstrating that skill. You are demonstrating not just that you know what to do, but that you can direct your energies in the direction of what you know what to do, and that you've got the feeling in it. If you think about it, the main tool of a magician, yeah, he's got all four elements at his will, but his main tool is his will. His main tool is his belief. And so you are going to be given a test where you can happily believe in yourself or think, oh my God, what have I done? You know, so, I mean, that sticks along the lines of, I mean, it also sticks along the lines of last year's, well, this year's at the minute, astrology, but it sticks along the lines of last year's astrology with Capricorn, but it's almost like, have you really learnt your lesson? Saturn is still ruling. Saturn is just as much at home in Aquarius as it is in Capricorn, but it's opening up the chances for those who pass their own personal tests, whatever they may be, to advance, to expand. And if you are following that pathway, you get a new beginning. With another 9 here, so we've got 2 9s in this column. There is a rebirth being offered, and this card here, come on camera, this card here, the Fool, there is a new beginning if you pass that test. It will be one where you are going to be nurtured and given so much more insight on how to nurture yourself and how to nurture others. This will be a slow growth, but a beautiful cause. Knight of Pentacles here, obviously, that's a card that we say indicates slowness, but with this particular one, he's got a golden treasure that he is taking somewhere. And you are definitely in motion if you take the right choice of that fork in the road, because that fork in the road has the Chariot, is clarified by the Chariot, and then we follow on with the Chariot leading into the Emperor, leading into you expanding your power and expanding your own domain. Because as far as I'm concerned, the really powerful card here is the Magician. But the Emperor, being the 4th one, is not just having that power, but actually being in a position to exert that power on the outside world, and to a great extent having it recognised. And I'm seeing that in a good way. I'm not saying that as an ego way, or I'm not seeing that necessarily as like suddenly getting a promotion at work so that you're lording it over everybody or anything like that. It's quiet, it's slow, it's calm, it's nurturing. But if you look at the end of this reading, we've got the Death card with the Ace of Wands. Clarity, moving forward, definite moving forward motion, and great change with it. This bottom row is beautiful if you are passing this test. So I think you really, really do need to be monitoring your big decisions, certainly your big moral decisions, and quite possibly certainly in the realms of interpersonal relationships, whether that's a relationship with a big R or even relationships with little r's. Because we also have the angel presiding over all of this reading is Menadel, astrologically representing inner and outer work. So again, you've done, or you are doing, the inner work, then comes your test. Let's see what you have learnt. That's what Saturn will be saying to you. But there is, Page of Coins is my level up card. So you pass this test, you are leveling up to a whole new level of life, something, you know, and I'm really fascinated by this particular Queen of Coins. I feel like there's something more she wants to tell me. Because, of course, grounding the vision, grounding the guidance that you are being given, Four of Cups, silencing the mind, into the real world, into your day-to-day life, into the world around you, and nurturing that world around you. So yeah, you're not just nurturing you here, you are nurturing, you are nurturing others as well. And that is also indicated by this Three of Cups here. But you are leveling up on how you are nurturing others and how you are able to nurturing others. So that is implying some form of resources or some form of position where you are able to assist others. I'm getting that from that Emperor card being above that Three of Cups, Page of Coins. And as I've said, the Page of Coins is very much a level up card for me. And there is this whole new beginning energy here. Page of Coins, level up. Now, with level up, it's like you've completed level 1 on the video game. You are now a beginner again, but at level 2. So you've got all of level 1 behind you. With the Fool, with the rebirth offered by the Nine of Wands here, because it's almost like the rebirth occurs before you realize it does. The rebirth occurs while you think you are still striving for that rebirth. With it being the Wounded Warrior, the Nearly There card. There was something else I wanted to put. Yeah, so new start with the Fool, with the Page of Coins, and more importantly, this Death card right at the end with the Ace of Wands. I think at the end of the year, you'll be surprised at just what role you are fulfilling in relation to yourself and in relation to others if you pass this test. So the advice from this test is do those actions where you know you will be able to sleep at night, where you know you'll be able to go, even if it went wrong, I did the right thing. So yeah, I suppose that's the message of the reading for you, Taurus. Do the right thing. So I hope that means something for you. Although the start of this reading, it's probably not going to yet, let's be honest. Comment down below if it's useful for you. And obviously press like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it's a YouTube channel. And there'll be more readings soon. And technologically wise, this one went pretty much without incident. Fingers crossed, I might get another one out today. Cheers.